Answering some Skype messages.
Cool. All right, so spawning in our 2 spawn, game number 2, spawning in our north position, and it is our gold Armada Protoss player, Seigifried.
Seigifried.
And
his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, the blue Protoss player, it is Marsman. Representing mCon Esports. I'm probably brutalizing the name, but it's probably mCon. Oh yeah, that teal color for Marsman on the probes, it's just vibrant. I'm sorry, I comment on it all the time, but it just looks lovely. Looks lovely.
yeah, I like when the like white, like on white veins or yellow veins are really cool too. They're really bright.
Yeah, they are definitely. And I mean, that's all that really matters in StarCraft. It's just a big game of who has better colors. Definitely, it's racist, but we don't care.
That's so cool. I love the zoom in features and all that.
I disabled them because I'd always accidentally zoom in, so I just like completely disabled them while I play. Definitely, there's some cool stuff though in Coda. Much more standard of a map, at least kind of consistent to older maps. We are starting to get into a new generation where people are like, why not Bridgehead, guys? Why not Iron Inferno pools? I almost said Iron Inferno pools, but still, some pretty cool stuff we're going to see here. Much more standard of a map in PvP, and we're going to see how these players actually kind of go about playing it out. Game 1, Marsman opted for the Twilight. Well, Seigifried went for Stargate, but I think, honestly, Marsman opting for the Twilight was more of, oh, I think you're actually going to be doing that yourself, and just wanting to make sure he wouldn't be in a rocky position without Blink.
Yeah, so we do see, like you said before, Marsman does go for that double gas, while Seigifried is just staying on his gateway, kind of just going to see what his opponent's going to do and make a build off of that. You know, cybernetic score, you know, that's the standard for both players. Nothing out of the ordinary just yet.
Yeah, definitely nothing out of the ordinary just yet. Seigifried probably going for a little bit quicker of an expand. He did delay one of his gases there, which will allow him to have a slightly quicker cyber. Still, though, it's going to kind of go back and forth. Not too much difference between the players. I know Marsman is kind of favored in this, but Seigifried still plays pretty darn well and is trying to make himself into this. Apparently, everyone is saying Marsman. They've seen it in different kind of tournaments in the Scandinavia, or I guess the Netherlands. Wait, where is he from? Let me look. In the Netherlands. For anyone outside of the Netherlands, we're just like, yeah, Scandinavia. Somewhere up there. Like, I'm sorry, it's just true.
Yeah, man, outside of Southern California, my time, or my distance, where countries are at, and stuff like that, just, I have no bearings.
I got a decent amount of countries, just not like Scandinavia. I'm like, you're all like, there's Finland, Norway, Sweden. Some of them aren't actually Scandinavia, and people are like, oh, well, it's not actually that. And I'm like, they're all in the same little thing. Just trust me on this one. Like, and we're seeing actually exactly what we saw in Game 1. Go ahead. Or sorry, we're seeing the opposite of what we saw in Game 1. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but we are seeing the opposite of what we saw in Game 1. Seigifried opening up with the Zealot again, though, like he did in Game 1, which I really like, and it just kind of annoys your opponent. Albeit, though, it's a little bit risky. It may force out a force field, though, which would be beautiful.
Yeah, so he does get the scout off. He might see the Stargate. He definitely sees the Stargate, definitely sees it cooking. So he knows something's coming, so he's going to react accordingly to it. Doesn't know yet what it was, but he's going for that blink. And there's going to be some interesting plays here. Blink is an awesome ability, especially on this map, because you have that, from that third base, you have like that cliff you could jump up into.
The one thing, though, for Protoss, at least on this map, is I'd much rather have it a utility off 2 bases instead of a 1 base all-in. Now, the 1 base all-in can be pretty good, especially versus Stargate when their own blink is delayed, but nevertheless, it's nice having it on 2 bases when you have the economy and you can actually utilize it just as this is a big utility. Seigifried won't see the Oracle coming in. Protoss probes pass each other in the night, but here's the Oracle. Stalkers are ready, and I think they will just completely negate it. And actually, they may be able to kill it here. They've got to be really careful. Won't be able to come in for another volley, or won't be able to come in for some more kills at this point. Very nice. And actually, just seeing what I saw right there, I'd love to see a hallucinated Oracle with a normal Oracle and both go in for some kills.
And we do see that DT coming in, and it's just when you go through, you see there's no robotics facility for your opponent. It's like, you know what? I don't see any cannons. I don't see any observers. You know, let me throw down some DTs. Let's see if I can get some harassment going. So we already DC the pylon and a warp. I'm assuming an observer or warp person might come out for that, but Seigifried's blink is about to finish. But he doesn't have an aggressive pylon on the belt. He has a little bit kind of towards the base, but nothing yet. So it's
Seigifried definitely is deciding, you know what, I'm going to take the aggressive stance in this game. But last game we saw him do the same thing, but his Oracle never was able to do damage. This time Marsman is being very careful, trying to go in for some damage, but he's actually going to die right here. Not going to make it. We'll even get one kill.
I don't even mistakenly focuses down the Nexus, which obviously not going to get a kill off an Oracle with the Nexus, but
actually you can kill a Nexus with an Oracle full energy, but not when it's killing you.
Really?
Yeah.
An Oracle.
You can kill everything but a layer, I think, or a hive.
Huh.
With
Alright,
one
so we
Oracle,
just see Blink Stalkers from Seigifried.
Force field!
Up the ramp.
Gotta be careful. Technically, it does a blink, though, so he should be fine.
Yeah, but it doesn't unless they want to reveal. Okay, I guess he is going to reveal it. So he blinks up, he's going to try to focus down that robotics facility because he wants to stop whatever getting cooked from that, which is going to be an Immortal, which is going to start destroying these Stalkers. And he's going to be forced to go back. But there's a DT at the base. There's a DT at Seigifried's base. There's nothing. Oh, he's just focusing down the... Oh,
Seigifried has nothing. He doesn't have a robo. He has no forge. Nothing to actually see this. Doesn't even bother to get any of his probes away and is actually just making a robotics bay in the middle of the map. Seigifried, I mean, he can try to make something happen here, but right now, Marsman is up 1-0. If Marsman can take this, he will move on to face Namshar for the second place in the round of 32, Group F, but... I mean, Seigifried, he's been rebuked, he's pushed back, but...
He's got the robotics facility in the middle of the map. I don't think Marsman knows where the robotics facility is at. It's right in the middle of the base.
Oh, the Mothership Core will... The Mothership Core will be able to come over and maybe get some vision, but still, I mean, yeah, you don't know what he can do. Thankfully, there is enough gas in the bank for Seigifried to be able to pump out an observer, but Marsman looks like he's done it, and the Mothership Core's got to be real careful of Seigifried. It will be sniped, and there it goes down. Oh, man, those Immortals doing that little dance. I'd love to actually see a dance right there, but the DT is so good. Yes, an observer will come out for Seigifried, but it's sadly too late. 6 to 26 workers. I think Marsman has done it. Actually, I know Marsman has done it, but...
Yeah, the observer's not with the yet, but yeah, it's just... DT just... It's so much damage.
Definitely just opening... You can do a 3-gate robo, a little bit more defensive with the possibility of observers, and as I was mentioning, I'd much rather see the blink play like we saw on 2 bases, because you will have the robo, you will have a little bit better economy, and it's too risky, especially when your opponent is Marsman and he's scouted you, he has an Oracle. You can't quite do that. Maybe you're like, okay, cool, you couldn't actually match me because you put gas into the Oracle, but in PvP, you're going to match Blink almost all the time and then get Immortals, and Marsman, 4 Immortals versus, you know what, a decent amount of Stalkers, 10 Stalkers, but 4 Immortals are going to just rip through this, and Seigifried's going into a meat grinder.
Yeah, he knows.
JJ, Marsman 2-0, moves on. Actually, no, moves on to face. Thank you. And I looked down and I couldn't read my handwriting again, and I was like, I know which player that is, but I can't tell if it's like Namshar or Namshar. Hawkeye helped me out there, but he will face Namshar in a PvZ Lazarus match to see who moves on to the round of 16. We'll see what happens with that. Not sure if we're going to go to a quick break or anything. We'll see if we hop onto EU, how long that'll take us. But actually, we will be going for a very quick break, guys, before we see who will join the lovely PandaBearMe in the round of 16. This is the Rivals StarCraft 2 League, round of 32, Group F. The Lazarus match, which is a PvZ, will come up shortly after this ad break.